And number three, get present and empathize with other people. Do you have any idea how much time you spend being someplace other than where you are? You know, we've all have these little cell phones, and it's amazing how many people are you find in restaurants and they're dealing with their cell phones. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody? You're in a conversation with somebody and you appear to be looking at them. You look at, you might even shake your head, but you know you're really seeing right through them because your mind isn't on them at all. And then in the middle of them talking, they finally stop and they look at you with this expectant look on their face as though you're going to respond. But you're thinking to myself, wow, I've been off wool gathering somewhere. I don't know what they just asked, but I better respond some way. So you fumble with the response, you blow it, and you both know it. So we need to make sure that we first get present, because until we get present, we cannot listen. But what happens when we make assumptions, we're creating our story. It's just what human beings do, but we have to be conscious. We have to be going through life awake. So we recognize when we're creating a story, we have to put it on the shelf so that we can listen and do as General Marshall said. He said, you got to listen to the other person's story. You've got to listen to the other person's full story, and you need to listen to the other person's full story first. And my goodness, it's so important to know that it's not about your story. It's not about my story. It's about the story of the person who's telling us. They're telling us they're scared about their kids not maybe getting an education this year, doing all this stuff virtually, and maybe they didn't feel prepared to really help them or able to help them online. They're scared about their jobs. They're scared about their future. They're worried about so many things, all the changes that have taken place. Will they be able to work remotely? Will they be able to keep the connections? There's so many cares and concerns that they have. We must be able to empathize and create a climate of psychological safety. So empathize and listen. I love this. The deepest human craving, said William James, father of American psychology, is to be found acceptable. When we listen to people, we listen to the full story. We do not judge. We genuinely empathize. We put ourselves in their shoes to get the sense of what they are going through. And we demonstrate it by actively listening to them. We find them acceptable. And when we find them acceptable, tension decreases and trust increases. So get present and listen. If we do these three things, we will not be getting up on our high horse with people. We will not be making assumptions that are untrue and or negative. And we will not be speaking to people, talking down to people. We will not be interacting with people in a way that causes them to get offended, to feel as though somehow or another they are less than. What we will do if we create a relationship vision, what we will do if we stamp them exceptional, walk through life consciously, what we will do if we get present, we listen and we genuinely empathize, what we will do is we will create the trust necessary in order for psychological safety. That's the biggest part. And that is absolutely what is necessary for effective leaders of high performing teams, and especially during these times, days of volatility and complexity.